Hello and welcome back to another podcast episode of Stoke Fan TV with myself, Max.
And me, Sam.
That's right, Sam has returned. You requested that Max and Sam do another podcast, and not only have Max and Sam joined forces again, but we've also brought in another Sam. How many Sams can you get? How many Sams can you get in the show? Two. Sam and Sam Cam. So welcome, Sam Cam, back to the pod. Now, before we get into all the talk we're getting into today about the Coventry game, etc., could you do us all a big favour? Could you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment below as well? Why not get involved? Get involved. Sam, as in not Sam Cam, good to have you back, mate. Well done on hosting the shows. I think I'll get you to host the shows more often now, mate. You're natural at that. Where you've been hiding that talent?
Thoroughly enjoy doing it, Max, to be fair. And I'm glad that everything's going well at home as well with the new little one. So it's all
Thanks,
good.
mate. Yeah. Sleepless nights, etc. Right. Anyway, let's get into it. So, a loss, unfortunately, on the weekend against top of the table Coventry, and for me, it was a moment of magic. Fantastic finish that kind of separated the two sides. But I want to get the opinions of both Sams, who are both at the matches, albeit in slightly different parts of the ground. Now, can we start with something? Because there was a little bit of controversy. I've seen controversy online, and I just want this to be cleared up by people who are at the game about the minute silence. Sam, you was mentioning before about that. You think it was a misunderstanding or something?
Yeah, what was happening? John T was on the PA system at the start of the game trying to tell everyone that there'd be a minute silence after the last post was played by the military musician. And the Coventry fans were chanting the whole way through the announcement. So to be fair to them, that they would not have heard what John T was saying on the mic, that there'd be a silence immediately after. They've obviously heard the trumpet, and it was a brilliant rendition of the last post by the musician that was there.
Mm.
And they've cheered afterwards, and they've not realised that it was a silence after. And as soon as they realised, to be fair to the Coventry fans, they were silent for the rest of it. So I can't say anything bad. I think it was a misunderstanding.
Would you agree with that, Sam? Cam, do you think that you were right next to him?
Yeah, no, certainly was. I think it was just a complete miscommunication between the Cobb supporters and obviously the tannoy at Stoke from Jonty. And no, there was no malice in it whatsoever. And to be fair, they were getting a lot of stick after that from the Stoke supporters around them. I did feel a little bit of sympathy because I don't think, like Sam just said, there was anything from it from a Coventry fan that was disrespectful or anything. It was just a miscommunication. That's what it was.
There you go. Well, we want to start off the show by clearing that up. It's an important matter. Right. So after that, I'll start with Sam. You were down the other end, Sam. And actually, no, there's another thing. You witnessed something during the game as well, and we want to send our best wishes, don't we? To there was an incident,
Yeah,
wasn't there?
yeah, the medical team that responded to the emergency that was two rows in front of me in in block 26. Massive fair play to them. We witnessed them save a man's life in front of us. So
Right,
massive thank
right.
you to the medical team.
Right. Okay. So, well, there's and we wish whoever it happened to all the very best. Make sure get well soon. You saw the game from that end, Sam. How did it play out for you? What was the key talking points for you, mate?
I was quite impressed by Stoke's defending, actually. I think Stoke did quite well to hold them back. And it was a very close game. And as you said at the start of the show, Max, we conceded an absolutely brilliant acrobatic attempt by the Coventry man. It was a brilliant goal. Yes, it could have been deemed dangerous by some people, but it was a brilliant goal. And you've got to give it to them. Coventry have put how many goals past how many teams this season to only lose 1-0 to Coventry, top of the league, flying. I think we'd have took that at the start of the season where we are on the table.
Yeah. It was a best defense versus best attack, wasn't it, on paper?
Yeah.
That's what it came down to, and that's how. I agree. I think that's kind of how it played out. Now, if you haven't already watched Sam Cam's vlog of the match, pause this video and go and watch his vlog because it's fantastic. But Sam, what were your thoughts on the game? Obviously, you were down the opposite end of the pitch, but what were your thoughts on the game as a whole, mate?
Firstly, I will actually say now you mentioned it. A big thank you to everyone who's watched the video so far. I think it's got 10,000 views or something like that, which is a really good, first day return, as we know as Stoke YouTubers. So anyone, Cov fans, Stoke fans that have watched that, genuinely, massively appreciate it. But in terms of the game itself, I think it was the first real evaluation of where Stoke are at right now. I think it was a real bringing us back down to earth a little bit. And you know what? Yes, it was a moment of magic that won Coventry the game, but they also deserved to. They were the better team. They dominated large parts of it. And there was just not enough Stoke players that were on it. Sorba Thomas wasn't fully on it, I don't think. Manhoof wasted quite a few opportunities. Even Obama didn't look his complete self. I think against those type of teams in those kind of games is when a promotion side, if we're going to be one, needs to step up. And for me, without sounding too negative, I don't think we did that, and I think that'll be the regret the players have from the game. But yeah, I wasn't. I was obviously gutted to lose the game, but it wasn't one of them where I'm walking away from the ground thinking we shouldn't have, because Coventry deserved it every day of the week.
Yeah, it was a tough match. It was probably one of our toughest games so far this season for obvious reasons. They are top of the league for a reason. The disappointing thing for me, I think, about the goal, as much as it was a wonder strike, really, was the fact that we see the striker managed to get his head on the ball with three Stoke players around him, but all of them behind him. You know, what's that about? It's moments of concentration like that that are going to win us or lose us games. And I think that on that situation, to lose it from a long throw is a bitter blow, to be quite honest with you. I don't really think that Shamadou could have done any more. Maybe he could have put his body in the way rather than try and head the ball, but his split second decisions, that is, the throw in is the bit for me where it kind of falls apart. Would you agree? Would you agree with that, Sam?
Which
I
one?
don't think Stoke. I don't think Stoke.
Sorry.
Sam, yeah. Would you agree with that? Non-Sam Cam, Sam.
I don't think the defensive positioning was the greatest from the set piece from their long throw in. I think you're completely right. Three people around one, you'd expect the defence to maybe try a bit harder to get it. But no, as I said, it was one of them. We've played all right. I don't think we played that bad. I think we played okay. We're playing against top of the league, as we've only lost 1-0. Like, I don't think we need to delve too much on the negatives. We're third in the league after 15 games?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I don't think I think they're gonna be up there, Coventry are, at the end of the season, and I hope that Stoke are somewhere close to where Coventry are.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to be negative by any stretch of the imagination. We'd have absolutely taken this, wouldn't we, Stoke fans, at this stage in the season, especially considering our last couple of seasons. I'm just thinking about this particular game. One thing that kind of baffled me a little bit, Sam, what do you think to this? His starting lineup, it baffled me slightly. I mean, he's played the last game. We've gone away from home and we've won 3-0. And Bakes has come in as number 10 and he scored 2 goals. Did you think it was a bit bizarre that all of a sudden we go into the next game against Coventry where, we need to try and bag a couple of goals to take off or change the team around in the centre of the pitch, where that number 10 has gone from scoring 2 goals previous game and now he's coming in and he's back in centre mid. What were your thoughts on the starting lineup? Was anywhere else in that starting lineup you more thought, not sure?
I don't know. I'd feel too harsh to criticize, very minor decisions like that from Mark Rollins, because I think he's done a tremendous job this season, and his decisions have been pretty spot on. Yes, maybe you could argue that if we'd have played Baker more attacking, then we could have been more creative. Yeah, we may have scored. You just don't know. It's very, anything could happen in football, I suppose. But then again, if you put Baker in that cam role, then you've got to drop Juno because he can't play in behind him in a defensive role. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But I do just want to touch on to something Sam just said. I thought it was spot on about not getting too negative right now, because you're completely right. I have watched a lot of Championship football, I do, and Coventry will be right at the very top this season. They're every single game. They are top draw quality, home or away. They dominate possession, they create chances, and they're a tough team to play against. And they were for Stoke the other day. But just because we lost to them does not mean that we can't be up there this season. Now, yes, it spoke to me in the way that we're not going to be title challengers, but there's also no reason we can't be in and around the playoffs because the Championship is so damn tight this season. I don't think it's ever been tighter for a long time. So I think Stoke fans need to keep believing. I keep believing. I'm sure you two are as well. And there's some real hope this season.
I'm trying my hardest to keep a level head and not get too carried away, but also not get too down in the doldrums if we do lose. I liked Beijing-Ho's performance yesterday. I've been critical at times. I thought he played a really good game. It was tough going at times. And what Beijing-Ho is good at is, I think, dragging us further up the pitch. You mentioned some players that weren't on it yesterday, Sam Cam, which is absolutely fair enough. They weren't necessarily players that turned up to their potential, let's say, in the match yesterday, and they were players that were marginalised, I think. My concern is at times though with Stoke is what's our plan B? Because you
100%.
play football, don't you? You play football, and teams play in league, championships, tournaments, and there are matches where plan A ain't working, right? And yesterday for me, I think defensively it worked for almost the whole game, but going forward, plan A just wasn't working. And my concern kind of thing is if we look to our bench, like we did a little bit yesterday towards the end of the game, where's a goal going to come from? Where's a chance going to come from on that bench? Rigo came on, and to be fair, I was a bit surprised that Rigo didn't play a bigger part in that game because I think he's quite a talented and creative midfielder. But where else is a potential goal going to come from if Sorba's not on it, if Manu ain't on it, and Mubama? Those front three arguably are where the goal's going to come from, and Baker at times. Where do we need to change that? What do we need to strengthen somewhere? I'm going to start with non-Sam Cam Sam. With that, Sam, what would you make to that comment I've just said, mate?
I think Stoke have done quite well this season where they've started with, say, more of a B team and brought the good players on after half time. So if it means that Stoke might have to take a few of them good players out of the starting lineup to put them on the bench so that they have attacking options to bring on if they need them, then maybe that might be the way forward. I'll go back to you were mentioning the lineup that he played against, obviously, Coventry this weekend, and you're questioning about it. What he's done now is he's looked at the exact same starting lineup that put 5 past Bristol City, and he's put the exact same team out there. So he's obviously thought that is the best team that Stoke have got at the minute. They've just won 5-1 at Bristol. That's what I'm going to start with. And the problem that he's got then is all of his best players that he's got are on the pitch. So he hasn't got anyone specifically on the bench that's reputable and he knows he can rely on to put a ball in the back of the net to bring on.
Well, this is the worry. This is the worry. I think you've literally hit the nail on the head there for me. This is the worry. Where do we need to strengthen now, or where do we need to look going forward? We've obviously got Lual to come back in, but Lual's been playing at centre back. For me, Boz doesn't look like he's going to score anytime soon. I've been very, very critical, but I'm not sure about that. I think obviously we get Cisse. When Cisse comes on, he looks okay, but I don't know. Is he going to start banging him in? Donnelly, I don't know. He looks to me like he might go back to Spurs. Sam Cam, what are your thoughts on that? The strength on the bench and that kind of B team, so to speak. What do you think, mate?
I'm in complete agreement with what you've both said, actually. I think to be successful in the Championship, you've got to have so much depth, or at least enough, so that when you're playing in these 2-game weeks, you've got players that can start on the Wednesday and then almost a pretty much new squad you can revolve around for the Saturday game. And I don't feel Stoke have got that. I really don't. And the only way that we're going to make the playoffs this season, the only way we're going to make the top 6 is when January comes around, we use it really, really smartly. I think Donnelly will go back to Spurs, nothing against him. I just think he's not getting any game time. He'll want game time and he'll go back to Spurs.
You would do.
To go Yeah, to get sent back out on loan and then find a new team. So then that leaves us one loan space available, and that one loan space is going to be the make or break of our season. And I genuinely believe that. You look at real rogue shouts like Fabio Carvalho, who's going to be leaving Brentford probably in January. Could he come to Stoke on loan like he did Hull a few years ago? You don't know. Another player, Mario Cozier-Dubry, don't know if you know him, plays in League One at the minute with Bolton. He's a Brighton loanee. It's been running the show in League One, and it's been absolutely superb. He could be another attacking option for Stoke because that's what we need. Defensively, we are absolutely perfect depth-wise. We've got Johansson, who, as long as he stays fit, touch wood, we're fine there. Our midfield is pretty packed in terms of options. We've got a good front three in terms of Thomas Manu from Obama, but with Gallagher constantly injured, Bosniak struggling for goals at the minute. If we're struggling for goals in a game like we were against Coventry, we haven't got enough to bring off the bench attacking options wise. And that's why January we're going to need to change that if we want to be around the top six. If we're happy finishing mid-table, 12th, 13th, then go with what we've got right now. But January is going to be so important.
It is a real shame about Gallagher, because he is a threat when he comes on, or he has been, isn't he, for us? Are we going to ever see him back playing for Stoke? I honestly don't know. He seems just like he's a bit of a walking injured, isn't he, Sam? Non-Sam Camp, non-Sam Camp Sam. What do you think? Do you think we will see Gallagher? And also another one, right? We obviously he's completely out of the show, isn't he now? But Stoke City's top scorer from last season or season before, Vidigal. He's just in the under-21s, isn't he? I'm trying to bring in players that maybe we're not thinking of just before we get to January, because Sam Cam's absolutely right. I think we are going to need to strengthen.
You beat me to it on Vidigal. I was literally just about to say, we've got an attacking player, literally, he's 27 years old, Vidigal is, and he's there playing in the under-21s, and he's all over Instagram. I don't know if any of you've got him on Instagram. He's constantly posting pictures of him at his games on there. Get him back in the team. We know he can score goals. It gives us another option up front, and we know he's good enough. Like, we haven't seen the full Vidigal, in my opinion. When he first come to Stoke, and the start of that season, he first come, he was mint. And I don't see what's happened. Something must have happened, but I'd like to see Vidigal back in the team. If we can stay in that top sort of 6 area by January, remember that's going to be enticing for players. Players are more likely to want to come to Stoke if Stoke are in the top 6 in January. So it might, I don't know what the money situation is. I don't know if we might need to offload a few players that are on high wages. Gibson, for example, maybe. Gibson, if we need to make a bit of money in January, there's definitely a couple of players that I wouldn't mind off the wage books. Gallagher being one of them, Gibson being another one. If we can clear them wages, get a couple of decent players in January, with us being up there at the top of the table in that top sort of 6, you never know what could happen, do you?
Well, here's another thought as well. Bring Sam Cam back in, obviously. Well, first, Sam Cam, I'll get your thoughts on what you think of Vidigal as well. And do you think he might be someone who could come and have a run, or do you think his time at Stoke is done? Also, would you consider, say, recalling our other strikers or attacking players that are out on loan? There's an option for you, isn't it? Sam Cam, what are your thoughts on that, mate?
100% not to both, to be quite honest.
100% not to which one?
Both. Emre Tezgel and Nathan Lowe. No. This is nothing against them two. I'm quite confident that in a few years' time, whether they'll be championship level strikers, it's impossible to tell while they're playing in League One and League Two. But I think they'll have a good footballing career ahead of them, or at least a good enough one. Whether that's at Stoke again, you just don't know. But you saw with Nathan Lowe last season when he was flying with Walsall in League Two. He came back to Stoke in the Championship, and that step up from League Two to the Championship is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I can guarantee to you now, Tezgel's had a few really good games for Crewe, and he has impressed me during his loan spell in League Two. But he is not ready in January to come back to Stoke and make a mark, in my opinion. He needs that full season. We made the mistake with Lowe. Let's not make it with Tezgel. And with Nathan Lowe, he's doing okay at Stockport in League One, but again, just leave him there. Let him have a full season, some consistency, a good run of games across the full campaign, and let him come back to Stoke and integrate with the squad in the summer. For Vidigal, you asked me on him. I don't see him in a Stoke shirt again, unless it is for the under-21s. Something certainly has gone on, because in terms of the talent the footballer's got, it's not too bad. It's very inconsistent, but on his day, we've seen Vidigal can be one hell of an option. I just think something's gone wrong behind the scenes there, because for a player at that age to be in with the under 21s fully fit every single week, there's something not right there. So yeah, that's my opinion on them three.
Some good points well made there, Sam. But what do you think? Yeah, I say going straight back to Sam Cam. What do you think if they did come back, Lowe and Tesco? Do you think they would score as many goals as Boz? Is the question.
What's the hero?
Because my concern is we've got Boz over there, and from what I've seen so far, as much effort as he's putting in, and as sound as he is, I'm just not necessarily seeing goal threats when he comes onto the pitch. And for me, it's like, are we developing players? Yes, okay, fine, but at what cost to Stoke City? Because if it comes to January and we don't get a striker in, and Mabama gets injured, then I'm
Or recalled.
or recalled. I mean, Sam, non-Sam Cam Sam, what do you think? What do you think? Just on that point there, just quickly touch on it.
We've got to get another striker. It's obvious. We can't rely on lone strikers. We did this last season with Tom Cannon, and then as soon as he went, we didn't know what to do. We need a striker that's actually contracted to Stoke City Football Club that can put a goal, like put the ball in the back of the net. But I can't remember the last striker that we had that could score decent, prolific amount of goals for Stoke. Ricardo Fuller, Johnny Walters, Crouchy, 10 years ago.
He lives in a few there, pal, to be fair. But you're not wrong. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to when you consider the strikers that we had. Tom Cannon, we just mentioned him there. He is really kind of struggling, isn't he, at Sheffield? Is this potential? Could we potentially swoop in January and grab ourselves a bargain and reignite his career, Sam Cam?
I don't know if I'd want to be honest. I think it would be quite expensive, judging off what Sheffield United paid for him last January. They wouldn't want to be selling him on a cheap deal, and his confidence looks absolutely on the floor right now. And I do feel sympathy for him whenever I watch Sheffield United, because I've watched them quite a lot this season. And whenever he's played, whether it's off the bench, which it mainly is for Chris Wilder's side, he hasn't impressed me very much. He looks a complete shadow of the Tom Cannon we saw at Stoke City. And we don't need a player like that in January. We need a striker that's going to come in, that's full of confidence and is ready to bang the goals in. Now, yes, Mabama is doing a very much good enough job for me right now. But you're taking a big risk if you're trying to live with a 19, 20-year-old striker on loan in his first men's professional season, week in, week out. If you're trying to last with that for a full season, that's a huge gamble. That's not one you want to take if you want to be in a playoff battle. So as Sam said, as you've touched on, Max, when January comes along, whether it's however much you have to pay, we've got to sign a striker that can provide us another option from Mavama.
Well, there you go, Stoke fans. Oh, go on, Sam.
On the right back, we need a right back as well.
Well, I don't think we do need a right back, to be fair.
I don't.
The only reason I don't think we need a right back now is just because I've seen both Maxi and Llewell's performances at right back. That's the only reason. I know that. I know what you're saying, though, Sam. Like as an out and out right back, we don't have anyone necessarily there on paper. But I don't know. I thought Maxi's man of the match performance. The other game he's really unlucky not to get straight back in the team. I'm not too worried about our defence. I think it's just going forward for me. I think we could do with some players to come in that are going to back up the front three that we've got now, and even I say the front four, to be fair, because that number 10 position is somewhere that I just as good as the lads that we've got in those number 10 roles are, I just think a number 10 who's next level, like for example, and I've said this before, Campbell at Blackburn as number 10 is next level. When he played us and he ran the show, if we had somebody like that level in that Stoke team, I think we could, potentially look to really push on and challenge. But that's just my thoughts, and that's our thoughts, Stoke fans. We're running out of time a little bit in the pod, so I think we'll wrap it up around about now. But let us know what you think in the comments. It's good to have Sam and Sam Cam on the show to give their thoughts, but let us know what you think. We're taking a breather over the international break, and we will return after the international break. Who have we got? Is it Leicester next game?
Leicester away.
Leicester away. Oh, that's a tough game, isn't it? Would you both take a draw?
No, mate, we're going to take 3 points. That's what we're going to take from the King Power.
Oh man, that's a tester to come straight back into that. Right, we'll do the rounds. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from them. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Sam Cam's channel. If you haven't seen
Thank
it,
you.
come out from behind the rock and give it a watch. It's fantastic. And that'll do. And we'll see you after the international break. Go on, Stoke.
Go on, Stoke.